Welcome to the Karen Kenney Show.
Hey, welcome to the Karen Kenney Show. I'm super duper excited to be here with you today, and we're just gonna dive right into this sucker. So I'm calling this episode Future You. Future you, like your future self. This is like a little love letter. We're like setting your future self up for something better, something good, something extra nice. You know what I mean? Okay. So every once in a while, right? Every once in a while, I will jokingly say, today me, today me would like a lodge a complaint with like yesterday me, especially after I've done like leg day, like lifting heavy on legs or, ran extra far or did much stuff. And then my physical body is paying for the choices of yesterday me. So sometimes I'll say, hey, today me wants to file a complaint with yesterday me. And then also sometimes I will say things like, hey, today me wants to thank younger me for being so fucking resilient. Or today me wants to thank younger me for like really sticking it out. Or taking that program or making that decision or like getting that training or starting yoga or stopping smoking or like whatever the thing is. Like it's really nice sometimes to look back and appreciate the younger versions of yourself, and we talk about that a lot on this show. But today I want to talk about your future self, this future version of you, the you that is yet to happen, right? The you that is coming on down the pike. And the thing is that, and this is going to be a very simple episode. It's just a couple of questions I want us to ponder. And it's this. Here's the question. Is what you are doing and choosing right now, is it going to be something that future you is going to want to thank you for? The people and the things that you are doing right now, that you are hanging out with, spending time with, in relationship with, is the job that you're doing right now, is that piece of cake that you're about to put in your mouth right now, like whatever the thing is. Because, sometimes today us is writing checks that future us, like, it's like can't cash. It's like, is your ass right now writing checks that future you can't cash, that they're going to have to pay the consequences of you being yourself right now? And I think it can be really, really helpful to like reverse engineer this. Because you know how in like 12-step programs or recovery programs, they'll say, you can't build a better past, right? And that's just facts. It's like what happened is happened. And of course, in Miracles, we say something kind of samesies. We say samesies different, right? We say that the past is gone. It can touch me not. The past is not here. It can touch me not. So what's happened has happened. There's no going back. I always say healing doesn't happen in the past. It happens here, right? It can happen here. It can happen with future versions of ourselves. But there's no going back in making that shit show or whatever happened, that trauma, that drama, that whatever, better. It is what it is. But what we choose to do right now can benefit us. It can benefit now us, but it can certainly benefit future us. So to kind of reverse engineer it, what I'll do sometimes, especially when I'm feeling resistance, especially when I'm getting a little whiny or a little like, man, I don't feel like it. I'll ask myself, is future me going to be grateful that I did this thing right now or today? Right? Am I going to see the choice that I'm making right now through a lens of gratitude? Is it going to feel like a gift? Am I going to be really grateful that I did this thing? And I look at future me and I say, okay, future me is this. I'll just give you an example. I'd be like, okay, future me, this dream that I have of my future self, that I'm going to be like a published author, a successful author, right? New York Times bestselling, whatever. Okay. Just a little dream or whatever. And then I'm like, well, I have to ask myself, if that is my goal, and your goal could be anything like, hey, I want to put more muscle on my body, or I want to be somebody who commits to going to the gym or learning to play an instrument, or like whatever the thing is, whatever future self that you envision, that you dream of, that you want. And then you reverse engineer it and you say, okay, well, what does right now me have to do in order for that version of me, of my future self, of my future you, your future you know, what are some of the choices and habits that they need to be committing to, like right now? And is this thing, you know, here's another question you can ask yourself. Are the choices and the decisions and the investments of time, energy, money, whatever, attention, right? Are the commitments and the relationships and the sacrifices that you're making today, are they going to benefit future you? Now, you probably can't justify, like, oh yeah, like me getting shit faced on, I don't drink, but like, you know what I mean? Like getting shit faced at 1 o'clock every night. I don't think future you is going to benefit from that. You know, not getting enough rest day after day, night after night after night after night. I don't think future you is probably going to benefit from that, right? Et cetera, go down the line. And rather than sitting in it and beating ourselves up and feeling like, oh my God, I've already blown it. I'm like, no, you can pump the brakes right now. You can stop right now and make a different choice right now. Like you right now could be making some really fantastic new decisions, habits, whatever, right? That are going to benefit future you. And we have to think about getting in alignment. Remember, the assignment is alignment. Is there a congruency between what I say that I want, who I say I want to be, like how I want to be showing up in the world, with the choices and the decisions that I'm making right now? Because it's really easy to keep putting things off, to keep saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or oh, blah, 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 blah. But you want to live not based on, you know, who you were, because that's not going to be super duper helpful. Not just who you are right now. If we can be visualize future you. I mean, don't do this if you're driving, right? But like if you're at home in a safe place, you can even, like, after you hear the instructions, just like hit pause, right? But just close your eyes and see in your mind's eye. Imagine there's a big movie screen, right? And if you can't visualize, you can imagine. We all have imaginations. You can be creative. If you're more analytical, maybe you do it on a piece of paper or whatever the thing is, right? But imagine or visualize, pretend in your mind that there's a movie screen. And on that movie screen, you see this future you that you have dreamed about, that you envision, that you want to be like, right? And whether that's successful, or you're a mom, or you have a beautiful partner, or you now have a dog, or like I wanna lose weight, gain weight, get stronger, write a book, learn an instrument, start a business, whatever the thing is. And try to envision that you. Try to see them, see where they are, see what they're wearing, right? Try to put yourself, like, imagine, what are they hearing? What are they thinking? What are the kind of things that they're doing? Who are they hanging out with? Are they reading books? Are they taking classes? Like, what? Try to really envision this person and then reverse engineer it and say, what are some of the things that I would need to do now? Is there a particular skill set I would need to learn? Are there some relationships and connections I would need to make? Are there some habits I would start to have to, like, build? You know, are there some things that I would need to do now to benefit future me? Right? Because what's the old saying? If you keep doing what you've always done, right, you're going to keep getting what you always got. And if we want to have a different experience in the future, then we've got to cut the shit right now. Like, now is the time. Like, now is the time. And even if you've blown it in the past, present you, right now you can still get it right for future you. So we don't have to just throw up our hands and say, oh my God, I've blown it and poor me and I can't do it. It's like, no, some future version of you will benefit from what and who you are being right now, the choices that you make, the commitments that you make, the relationships that you build, right? The trust that you build, whatever the thing is, the habits and the patterns, that new neural network in your brain by choosing differently, choosing new. Okay. It's very, very powerful. And so often, I'm all for being in the present moment, right? Because the past is what it is. There's no changing it. The future is what it is. But here's the thing, we can make choices now that can affect and inform and influence and inspire the future. We can't go back and build something different, but you right now, you do have autonomy and agency and authorship about some of the things that can go down. Now, I know we can't control everything that happens in the world, but at least we can set our attention on what we want. We can set our intention on what we want. And so sometimes we got to look forward and we say, okay, I envision this. Now, what are some of the things, what's the next smallest right step that you can make today that is going to move you in the direction of that version of future you? And so often we just get so overwhelmed with surviving like right now. And that's why I said the next smallest, tiniest, like right step that you can move in the direction of that. What's something that your future self is going to be grateful for that you today did? And if I'm somebody who wants to have a book, that means I have to sit down and write, right? I got to sit my ass in the chair. As Stephen Pressfield says, put your ass where your heart wants to be. Put your ass where your heart wants to be. Do I have that book right next to me? Do I have it right here? Do I have it? Oh, nope, but it's right there. I can see it over there. All right. Put your ass where your heart wants to be. So that means you got to do right now. Get your butt in the chair, or get your butt to the gym, or get your butt signed up for like a mentor, or hire a coach, or do the things now that are going to benefit. I mean, right now you will also benefit from many of these things, but it might take a little time. But we don't want to have future being like kind of bummed at today you, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if you've ever uttered this, oh my God, why did I do that? What was I thinking? What I often say to people is, you weren't thinking. You weren't thinking at all. You were not thinking. You were not in your right mind. You were not having a conversation with the smarty pants part of yourself, right? And whether you call that spirit, Holy Spirit, internal teacher, your intuition, your instinct, you were not listening to that. You were listening to the fucking chatter of the ego mind that wants what it wants when it wants it, and it just wants it now because it deserves it, and it's got reasons and it's got excuses, right? No. We got to listen to that other part. And sometimes we can't hear that voice of the other part of the internal teacher, because in A Course in Miracles, they call it like the raucous, like the screams. It is like the obnoxious screams of the ego, right? That's my word. It's like the shrieks. They call it the shrieks. The shrieking of the ego is so loud. So we need some tools, man. We need some DSP. We need a daily spiritual practice that's going to help dial down the volume of that insistent, whiny, critical pain in the ass, that little bastard of an ego. So we can hear the voice for love. So we can hear that voice that is actually, rooting for us and sees who we really are and wants us to succeed. So don't have today you be writing checks at future you. You're like can't cash. Like, let's really take a gander, take a little look-see. And then the assignment is alignment. Can I get in congruence with what I say I want? Is it matching what I'm actually choosing to do right now? And sometimes the things that we want, they do require and sacrifice is a funny word. It's like, so you might be sacrificing going out and having a good time and drinking or doing whatever, because you're going to stay home and focus on, your business or your book or your project or the skill set that you're learning or whatever it is. That to me is like a fair trade. Is it a sacrifice? I don't know. You're getting something else instead of the hangover, or you're getting this instead of spending all that money or whatever. Right. And this can show up like across the board. Like, let's say with credit cards, right? Here's an example. It's wicked easy to just go make a purchase that you can't really afford on plastic, on credit, because the pain isn't there, right? The pain isn't there. You just think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. And you get that dopamine hit, or you get that rush of excitement, that momentary like chemical cocktail releases in your body and you get so excited. But you're not thinking about the bill that's coming 30 days from now. You're not thinking about all the work that future you, right? And it's really easy because with credit cards, it doesn't feel real. But future you is going to have to pay for the patterns and the habits and the choices of you right now. And it's like, oh, is this thing I'm about to do right now, is it truly going to benefit me? Am I going to be happy that this is the choice that I made? You know what I mean? So we got to get real with ourselves. We got to make things a little more real. And we also have to understand we only have so much time on this planet. We don't know when the last exhale is coming. So why make it harder for future you? You know, it's like you're about to like I said, maybe it's like, and bodily things are just easy. If you're not getting enough rest, if you're not putting good, nutritious food in your body, if you're not moving your body, if you're not exercising or doing things that benefit your heart, right? That benefit your brain, that benefit your organs, your muscles, whatever. It's like we have to ask myself, is the toll that I'm paying, right? Is that toll that's coming up down the line? You know, when you're driving on 93, right? You're driving on 93 north or south, and that toll booth, you know that toll booth is coming. And at some point, if you're trying to get where you got to go, you're going to have to pay a toll. I'd rather pay the toll now. So it's easier later. Do you know what I'm saying? Like future, I want to help future me. I want to help the future you as well. And that's what we got to be thinking about sometimes. Okay. And look, I could give you 1,000 other examples, but so think about, who is it that you want to be? How do you want to be in the world? What is it that you want for yourself and your family or whatever? And then say, is this thing that I'm about to do right now, is future me going to be happy for it, grateful for it? Is it going to say like, oh yeah, like that was a good choice? And I know sometimes we can only make decisions based on the amount of information that we have right now. And I also believe that we can learn from anything. So even the mistakes that we've made, we can gather something from that. We can look at that and say like, ooh, I'll never fucking do that again. Right? So even that is valuable. But why not set ourselves up for success by just thinking a little bit ahead, like, you know, imagining it and then saying like, okay, I'm going to take steps today that are going to better my life moving forward. You know, is my future me going to love me for these decisions that I'm making right now? And hopefully that's helpful in some way for you. Hopefully it gives you, you know, a chance to just kind of slow down and ask yourself like, yeah, is who I'm being in alignment with this idea that I have, this vision that I have, this, you know, dream that I have, these goals that I have. And if they're not, then we got some work to do. And sometimes, you know, we just get really stuck in behaviors and patterns because they're familiar and they feel safe, even if they're not very helpful. And there's all kinds of pattern interrupts. There's all kinds of ways to help you to build new habits, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, right? And to make different choices. And sometimes we'll be like, you know, I sometimes will say to people, look, your best thinking is what got you here. Like your best thinking got you here so far. So if you're not quite sure what your next steps are, like thank God. Thank God for books. Thank God for podcasts. Thank God for coaches and mentors and people that you can hire to help you along the way. Because while nobody can do the work for you, you absolutely in this day and age do not have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. That's one of the whole heartbeats of my business is, look, this whole being human thing is not easy. Navigating this and trying to, you know, navigate the world with more happiness and joy and love and clarity and confidence, all those things, right? Creativity. It's not always easy. But good news is you don't have to do it alone. So I hope future you is being set up marvelously, fabulously, brilliantly by today you. And, just make sure your ass is not writing checks that future you can't cash. Okay. All right. Wherever you are in the world, okay? Wherever you go in the world, may you leave yourself and others and the animals and the planet and the environment, and may you leave future you better than how you found it right now. Wherever you go, may you and your energy and your presence and your intention and attention and your love be a blessing. Bye.